not the product, not the complaint. People are looking for solution. People are looking for transformation. People will buy the solution inside your story. Become a good storyteller, because story is the king and your pain is your biggest asset. So please share your pain with the world, not your Ferrari. Connect with the people through the pain. Show them that you were in the same place, your point A, and then you found a solution, a simple map for going from A to B. Get connected by the pain. Bring value through solution. Create relation with conversation. So your audience will follow you. They will trust you. At the end, they will buy from you. In closing, it was an honor to share my story of transformation with you. Today, I'm here because that terrible night I took a decision. Remember, it's easier to make a decision right than to take the right decision. Please learn to decide fast, to decide every day, to decide anyway. We are in the business of transforming life. Stop stopping yourself. Be insane. Be unstoppable.
I see you. Lisa Ross, Danielle Roach, what's up? I love that. I love that story because Paulo talks about being willing to pivot. How he took his business from offline to online, and he found one customer. And instead of being discouraged by that, that's where everything changed. He thought, if I did it once, that means I can do it again and again. And did you hear him talk about telling his story? Are you catching a theme today so far about storytelling? I love that every time Eric's come up here, he's told a story. Right before we broke, I was like, there's no wonder Eric and I get along. He told a story about his background being from big churches and musical theater. I'm like, no wonder we get along, because I come from big churches in Texas and my background is in musical theater. I know that my favorite parts of these events is when Eric gets to come up here and just share from his heart and teach. He's such a gifted teacher. I've learned so much from him, and putting these things into action have literally changed my life and my business. So help me welcome back to the stage Mr. GoPro himself, Mr. Eric Worre.
How's everybody doing? Get good energy? Wave at me if you're from Australia. Show me some Australia people. So Francesca, what time is it in the morning right now? Hold up your hand so you can tell me. What time? 7 a.m.? 7 a.m.? Wow. Well done. 5 a.m. for you, Jeanette? That's commitment. That's commitment. When you start an event at 2 a.m., that's commitment, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're going to pivot now from presentation into duplication. How many people would like to have more duplication in their organization? Say aye, raise your hands.
Aye.
Here's the thing, and it's so funny. We've got $20 million worth of technology here, and then I bring out this thing called an Elmo, which nobody in the entire team knows what the heck it is. It's super old school, but sometimes I like writing stuff, so I'm going to write some different things, okay? To start, there's some things that you need to understand. There are 4 elements. There are 4 things that we do. That's a little out of focus. Is there a focusy thing here? Do I lift it up? Do I bring it down? What do I do to get it to focus? Well, I'm going to do my best. Handle it, right? Remember? Handle it. Number 1 thing that we do is we sell valuable products and services using word of mouth advertising. The most effective form of advertising in the world. We sell using word of mouth advertising. That's number one. Number two, we build an ever expanding team. We recruit and we teach other people how to recruit. Paula, can somebody come out here and focus this thing? Because I don't know how to do it. Anyone? Anyone? I lift it up. Do I push it down? If I push it down, does that help? Is that okay? Even though it's way down there? That's better at home, right? Okay. Number one, we sell using word of mouth advertising. Number two, we build, we recruit, and we build teams. We grow a network, right? Number three is we duplicate the process. We're going to start talking about duplication now. And number four is leadership. We lead our teams. If you take two teams, see why it's old school? No. Put it back up here. I want to see the old school. Thank you. Team rolls their eyes at me. I do this on purpose just to torture them. We sell, we build, we duplicate, we lead. If you take two teams of equal size and there's one has a great leader and the other one doesn't have such a great leader, the team with the great leader is going to create more activity, right? So here's what you need to understand with this. Everything above this line is a job. Selling and recruiting is just a job. It's trading time for money. Everything below this line is a business. Down here, you have leverage. Up here, you're trading time for money. Down here, you can create residual. Up here, you're just doing tasks in order to be able to, the building blocks of what it is that we do. So we got to get to duplication. We got to get to leadership if we want to create leverage in our business. Okay? That's what we've got to do. So, are you going to try and adjust this or no? Come on, try and adjust it. You going to adjust while we're goofing around? Oh, baby. You just needed to push a button. Okay. We sell, we build, we duplicate, we lead. All four are important. All four are necessary. But selling and building is a job. Duplication and leadership is a business. Now, if we're talking about duplication, duplication is the journey from dependence to independence. Then and only then do you have duplication. You have somebody who joins your team and they're completely dependent on you for everything. They're like a newborn baby. They cannot exist, they can't function, they won't last a day if you're not there doing everything for them, right? Your job is to take people from dependence to independence. Now, what you need to understand, Vanessa, what you need to understand is it's not an automatic process for them to go from dependence to independence. They will stay dependent for years if you don't cause them to become independent. If you don't force them to fly out of the nest. If you don't make it uncomfortable for them to stay dependent on you. And some leaders actually get their sense of self-worth from so many people depending on them. It's what makes them feel needed and special. So, oh, my team needs me so much. And they actually feel separation anxiety, and they feel anxious when the team doesn't need them. When that's the goal. You've done your job, is to take them from this dependent state where they cannot operate on their own and help them to get to the state where they can operate on their own. That's where we're trying to go. Until you have duplication, you do not have freedom. Until you have duplication, you do not have leverage. Until you have duplication, you don't really have a business. You just have a job. So understand this. Every person on your team, Barbara Pickens, every person on your team needs to go from dependence to independence. Everyone, Brenda Turner, needs to go from dependence to independence. Every single one of you, Tanya Alton, needs to go from dependence to independence. That's got to be your goal. There's a very important conversation that you must have. Okay? I want you to write this down as clearly as you can, because this conversation needs to happen with every single person on your team. All right, you ready for this? This is worth a lot of money. Write this down. If I'm talking with Clive Leach, I'm going to say, Clive, my goal, and let Clive just joined my team, or he's on my team, and he's currently dependent, let's say. He's not. He's $1 million earner, but let's assume he wasn't. My conversation with Clive is, Clive, my goal, my objective is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. How long do you want it to take for you to become independent from me? Now, I'll write that down again. Everybody, I'll say it again and write it down. My goal is to help you to become independent from me as quickly as possible. How long would you like it to take for that to happen? And let them answer. You're going to get in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. But whatever that number is, you're not going to have somebody say, well, I think 5 years is a good target for me to be dependent on you. But if you don't have that conversation, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be dependent on you for 5 years. So you have the conversation to set the intention. So now I'm going to work with Clive, and I know that Clive, hold up in fingers, how many months would you like it to be for you to become independent from me? 4 months? Diana says 1, he says 3. All right. So Diana probably can get there in 1, because she is a superstar. But Clive says 3 months, and guess what? Both of those numbers are fine. Is it going to be a challenge to help Clive become fully independent in 3 months? Sure. He's got to learn some things. He's got to figure out how to solve problems on his own. He's got to figure out how to live and exist without me, how to be productive when I'm not around, when I'm not pushing him, when I'm not encouraging him, when I'm not patting him on the back or recognizing him. What's going to cause him to get up in the morning 3 months from today and go to work whether or not I'm pushing him? A game plan for the next 3 months. So my first assignment to all of you, everyone on your team that is quote unquote active, they've got a pulse, right? They're using the product, and at some point they had the intention to build a business. At some point, these people had the intention to build a business, okay? Go to those people and say, listen, I've learned some things at GoPro this year, and I want to use those to help you to build a business. You started this with an intention to build it at some point. What do you think? In 2021, do you want to build this or not? So I would take inventory at the end of this year of every single person on your team. Every single one. And if you have a huge team, divide it up amongst your leaders and make sure everybody asks the question, would you like to build in 2021? Because I've learned some things and I think we can accelerate it, and the company's doing amazing things and it's a perfect opportunity. The world's looking for home-based business. We have a solution. Do you want to run with me or not? That's question number one. Question number two, currently you're not what I would call an independent builder. You'll build when I'm helping, but not necessarily when I'm not. My goal, if you want to build in 2021, is for you to become independent from me as quickly as possible. How long would you like it to take? And let them give you their number. And from their number, you're going to have a plan to help them become independent in 2021. And if you can help a larger group of people, imagine everybody here, 40,000 people, each get 10 people on their team to say yes. And they help those 10 people in the first 6 months become independent from them. What is that? 4 million? No, 400,000? 400,000 people that weren't independent, that in the next 6 months can become independent builders inside of network marketing. It's a huge number. Some of you could do more, some of you do less. But I'm a big believer in, one, taking inventory regularly. Take inventory of your team, find out who wants to do this. Number two, ask the question. My goal is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. How long do you want it to take for you to become independent from me? That doesn't mean we're not going to be friends. That doesn't mean we're not going to work together. That just means that you can work with or without me, and you can create a business and build an empire with or without me. That's my intention. That's my goal. You understand? You got that? Robin, you got it? All right, cool. So, we're going to use a process to do this. We're going to use a combination of third party, and we're going to use something called tell, show, try, do. And we're going to use something called ACTS. I'm going to walk you through each one of these. I'm a big believer in simple things that actually really work around the world. These simple things will help you achieve duplication. I was so frustrated in my first 3 years of network marketing because I didn't have any duplication. I was so annoyed. You ever have some people, raise your hand if you've been around for a couple of years in network marketing or more. So most of you, right? So you've been to your company convention and you watch these people and you got to know them now, right? You ever seen that person that walks across the stage and they get their flowers and they get the pin and they got like a ribbon around their shoulder and they got a trophy, and they're like Forrest Gump. They have no idea how they got there. Literally, and no kidding. They're just like, I want to thank the team because I don't know how this happened. I just have this humongous team. Thanks, team. And it got to be a little painful for me because I'm looking at these people like I'm working my face off and I know the middle name of every person on my team. You're talking about people you're meeting at the top rank in the company. You met them for the first time at your convention. Are you kidding me? I know the birthdays of everybody on the team. I know their biggest fear. I know the ones that are afraid of spiders. I know too much about my team. And everybody else, it's all I got, I don't know what happened. I just signed up a couple people and now I have 800,000 people on my team and thanks. Screw you. I was so mad watching these people walk across the stage Like, come on. I was determined to figure out duplication because I was sick of this. I was sick of building and rebuilding and building and rebuilding. I was sick of 100% of the productivity on my team happening because I made it happen. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You do all the recruiting on your team, right? And you recruit your people's people. Just bring them to me. I'll recruit them for you. You train everybody. I'll train them. Put them on my Zoom. I'll train them. I'll communicate with them. I'll make sure they come to the event. I'll do this and I'll do that. Put it on my shoulders. Hang me up to dry. That was me. I was like, I'm done with this. I have to figure this thing out. Because this as a job, network marketing as a job is not very fun. As a business, it's a blast. As a job, not very fun. So, let's talk about third party first. If you want to, just the concept of third party is important because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get people to take action with or without you. So, if you have your team member, your distributor here, and there's a prospect here, the worst tool for a distributor when they're new is to go to that prospect and try to give the facts directly to that prospect. That's called first party. I'm going to come to you. I want you to see what I have. Here's my product. Here's my opportunity. Here's the compensation plan. Check it out. They have almost no shot. Unless they have credibility or respect from that person, they have almost no shot of having success. When I first started, that's what I tried to do. Everybody shut me down. And then I learned how to use third party. This was my first step because my upline was busy doing other things. So I didn't have anybody to lean on. So I learned to use a third party. And I would go to the prospect, I would introduce the prospect to this third party. The third party would give the information to the prospect, and if the prospect liked what they saw, they joined with me. So, third party could be a video. Third party could be a story, I could tell a story. A third party could be a website. Third party could be the product. Third party could be Zoom. Third party could be social, some sort of social page. Third party could be printed material of some sort. It could be another distributor where you introduce somebody to another distributor. It could be an event. It could be lots of different things. Here's another way to define it. A third party is just anything that's not you. Okay. Anything that's not you. And once I understood third party, truly, I understood third party, I started to have duplication. Because everybody can introduce their prospect to one of these things. Everybody can introduce their prospect to one of these things. They might not be able to give the presentation, but they can introduce their prospect to a video if you give them just a very simple script. You can introduce your prospect, invite them to a Zoom call, add them, tag them, and message them into a social media or Facebook group. You can introduce them to another distributor. You can invite them to an event. You can have them check out a website. You can tell them a story. And you don't have to have very much skill. So not only could you do this, you could teach this, and you could teach your people to teach it. So it started for me, realizing at the very beginning I had the attention of my upline, so I dragged my prospects in front of my upline and had the upline do the presentation. And I signed some people up. And then my upline got busy. So I was like, what do I do now? And then I found out that there was local meetings in the area. at the hotels every Tuesday night, every Thursday night, every Saturday morning. So my strategy was to bring prospects to those meetings, let the meetings do the presentation, and I would get the results. And then I learned how to use audio and video tools in order to be able to introduce people to check out those tools. Those tools would do the presentation, and then I'd get the results. So just understand, a cornerstone for duplication is third party. A cornerstone for duplication is third party. If you're doing too much first party because you're cool, because you're making a lot of money, because you're doing great, just understand that's not going to duplicate within your team. You're just going to be cool amongst the people who look up to you. But here's the problem with going first party. If I don't believe anybody's a 10 and I don't believe anybody's a 1 on a scale of influence, but let's say that you're a 9, right? And if you're going to go get people to join your business, who are you going to call if you're going to use first party? You're going to call the 10? No, you're not going to call Ghostbusters. Are you going to call the 10s? Probably not. You're going to call the 8s and the 7s and the 6s. And you're going to talk to them. They're going to join. And then who are they going to talk to? The 5s and the 4s and the 3s. And then who are those people going to talk to? The 2s and the 1s. And then very shortly after you started this process, guess what you're going to hear from your team? Nobody can afford to join. Now that's not true, but you're going so quickly down to the 1s and 2s that have no money because you're using first party that you don't have a chance to be able to bring in quality people. So third party as a principle is incredibly important that you need to wrap into any duplication process that you're putting into your organization. Vitally important. Okay, next. Tell, show, try, do. Now, what am I trying to create independence about? The 7 fundamental skills. Finding prospects, inviting, presenting, follow-up, closing, launching, promoting events. You got it? Those are 7 fundamental skills. So Robin Ward, if I'm working with you, and you're sitting in my living room, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, I can recognize what's there. So Robin, if I want to help you, you're brand new. I want to help you become independent on these 7 things. I'm going to follow the process of tell, show, try, do. So Robin, I'm going to tell you how to find prospects. So I'm going to tell you, you listen. And then I'm going to show you. Watch me. Watch me do it. You take notes. And then you're going to try it. Hey, try it. And I'll watch you and I'll help you pick up the slack if you make a mistake. You're not on your own. I'm here with you, but I want you to try it. And then eventually, Robin, you're going to do it. And then you don't need me. Now we're at independence. But it's not just a straight line. Tell, show, try, do doesn't just happen. It's like in real life, it's tell. Okay. Show. Tell. Show. Tell. Show. Try. Tell. Show. Try. Tell, show, tell, show, try, do, show, try, do, try, do. Okay, she's got it. That's real life. If she's willing, hungry, and coachable, I'm willing to go through that process, because what did it take for your child to learn how to ride a bike?
Practice.
Tell, show, try, do, right?
Tell, show, try, do.
I'm going to tell you, here's the bike. I'm going to show you, look, here's how I pedal. Okay, you try it. I'm holding on the back. All right, now you're doing it. I got it. Bye, Mom and Dad. I'm good. I'll be back when the sun goes down. See what I'm saying? Same process. But you got to be patient with the process. Here's what most people do, is they say, hey, welcome to the team. Go do this. That's like saying to your kid, welcome to being born. Go change your own diaper. That's not going to happen. Welcome to being born. Go be potty trained. Welcome to being born. Go drive a car. Not going to happen. We are raising up people with new skill sets. So it's going to be tell, show, try, do, with compassion, with love, with encouragement. So long as they're willing, coachable, and hungry, you can stay with them until they become independent on that thing. So again, if I'm working with Clive again, I want to make sure that he becomes competent. He doesn't need to be a pro, but he needs to be competent at finding prospects. Okay? What am I going to use? Tell, show, try, do on finding prospects. And then once he's competent there, I want to help him become competent on inviting. All right, we got all the prospects you need, Clive. Let me walk through the process of how to invite. You know, it took us 3 days for you to feel confident that you have unlimited prospects. Now, how long is it going to take for you to feel competent? You don't need to be world class yet, but competent at inviting people to take a look. Tell, show, try, do. Got it? Then we pick the next, then we pick the next, then we pick the next, then we pick the next. And it sounds slow. But I would say, compared to what? How much duplication is happening on your team right now with your current plan? The go throw them into the deep end of the pool, see how they do plan. Throw them out in the middle of heavy traffic plan. How's that working out for you? If you find somebody who's willing, coachable, and hungry, then be patient and compassionate enough to walk through the tell, show, try, do process with them so they have a chance to become independent from you. Because once they're independent, you got a gem. You got something very valuable. So, tell, show, try, do, and you're going to walk through finding prospects, inviting, presenting, follow-up, closing, launching a new person, promoting events. You're going to be doing all of these things with this process. And what are you looking for in order to work with somebody? They need to have 3 things. We'll talk about this more in leadership. 3 attributes. Number 1, they need to be willing. You want to have more duplication on your team? You got to find people who are willing. You cannot force people to be successful. I want you to ride a bike. I'm not willing to ride a bike. Well, are you going to be successful? You can do tell, show, try, do as much as you want. If they're not willing to ride a bike, it's not going to happen. Number 2, they need to be coachable. It's very difficult to work with somebody who won't listen. Ours is a different business. So if they're coachable and they're willing, you can work with them. And number 3, they need to be hungry. If they're these 3 things, I will tell, show, try, do forever until they become, I don't care if they're a fast learner or if they're a slow learner. I don't care if they're just inching along or they're going supersonic. They've got my time, they've got my attention, they've got my love, they've got my compassion, they've got my energy, so long as they're coachable, willing, and hungry. Coachable, willing, and hungry. And they have to be all three. If they're not all three, guess what? You can't afford to spend too much time with them. You have to understand something about network marketing. Most people in network marketing are tourists. They're not permanent residents here. They're like people who come to Las Vegas. Most people come to Las Vegas, guess what? Eventually, they go home. Same thing's true with people who join network marketing companies. They joined because they thought they were going to get rich in 15 seconds. And when that didn't happen, guess what? Many of them just go home. But if they're willing, coachable, and hungry, I'm willing to work with them as long as it takes for them to become independent from me. You got it? This is really, really, really important. Now, let me talk to you about ACTS. A is assignments. C is campaigns. T is, what is T? Tools, sorry. My brain left my body again. And S is systems. ACTS, like the book of Acts, we're trying to get people to take more action, right? ACTS, these four things will help you. I'm going to cover two of these from now to the break. And who's after this? Somebody throw up on the notes what's after this, okay? Thank you. But for now, let me talk to you about assignments. Assignments. You want to have more duplication on your team. Assignments are your number one tool. This is how you create independence. So if I'm talking to Jared Krebs, I'm going to say, Jared, he's a brand new person. How do I get through Tell, Show, Try, Do? How do I find out his weaknesses? How do I find out his level of commitment? Through assignments. So here's one of the first things that you need to do. What do I need to know if I can afford to spend any time with Jared? What do I need to know? Throw up the chat roll so I can see them, please. Throw in the chat. What do I need to know about Jared before I can spend any time with Jared? What do I need to know? Put it in the comments. What do I need to know? Anyone? I need to know, is he willing? Is he coachable? And is he hungry? If I know that he's these three things, then I can spend time with him. So how do I, here's the secret, the trick. Tom Henderson, here's the trick. If you ask somebody on your team, hey, are you willing, coachable, and hungry? What are they all going to tell you? Yep, I am. I'm the most willing. I'm the most hungry. I'm the most coachable of anybody you got. Matter of fact, you can retire right now because I just joined your team. I'm going to help you go all the way to the top. It's the most amazing thing that's ever happened in your life. You're going to thank me. Go pop some champagne because it's going to be amazing. You're going to love this, right? So you give them, they tell you, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 10. So you give them a 10 assignment. I want you to get to the core rank, and I want you to do it in the next 72 hours. That would be a 10 assignment, right? And then they don't do it. So what does that tell you when they don't do it?
They are not pushable.
That tells you, now it doesn't tell you that they're a liar, because sometimes these people are talking big because they're trying to speak into existence something that they haven't been able to do before in their lives. So have compassion when they talk big and they don't match it with action. You know what I'm saying? So you give them a 10 assignment, they don't do the 10 assignment, so instead of yelling at them for not doing it, then give them an 8 assignment. Okay, try this. And if they don't do that, give them a 6. Try this. If they don't do that, give them a 4. Try this. If they don't do that, give them a 2. Try this. If they don't do that, give them a 1. The 1 might be, hey, I just want you to use our product for the next 7 days and tell me how you feel at the end of the 7 days. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe it's getting on one Zoom call. Something, anything. But as soon as I find their level, I'm going to be going up and down on this until I find Jared's level. And once I find it, I don't care where it is, doesn't matter. I find it. He's a 4. Okay, he's a 4. I'm going to give him 4 assignments, and then I'm going to slowly start inching it up while he builds his confidence. And the assignments are going to be driven around what? Tell, show, try, do, and on these skills. I'm going to be giving him assignments that will help him find prospects. I'm going to give him assignment. I want you to make a list of all the people that live outside of 100 miles from you as an example of an assignment. I want you to make a list of anybody you know that speaks more languages than just English. I want to give you an assignment to see if you can make friends with 10 people a day on social media that think how you think and have the same interests you have. I want you to do 10 a day for the next 10 days, and then I want you to let me know about who are the 100 people that you connected with over the course of the next 10 days. See, all of those assignments are going to be built around moving him from dependence to independence. I'm going to give him assignments on inviting. Come over to my house and listen to me invite some people. Or come on over, or let's do a 3-way call. I'll listen to you invite some people. See what I'm saying? An assignment might be, Jared, come over to the house and practice your presentation on me. Tell your story to me. Let's work on your story. That could be an assignment. So I'm going to find his level and then start moving assignments up. To go from dependence down here to independence up here. That's where I'm going. Now, here's the thing. All you're looking for is that they're willing, coachable, and hungry. That's it. You understand, Debbie Beebe? Willing, coachable, and hungry. You understand, Petra Thomas or Toma? Willing, coachable, and hungry. That's it. And once they are, you're going to try to find out where is their fear level on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are they willing to take action and where do they freeze up? Find their level that they're still willing to take action and start giving them assignments at that level that will start them down the journey from dependence to independence. And you'll say, how long do you work with them? As long as they're willing, coachable, and hungry. If they stop being willing, coachable, and hungry, tell them that you love them. Tell them that you'll see them down the road. You'll see them on the group Zooms, but you can't spend personal time with them. Stay with them as long as they need to, and then slowly ratchet up the assignments to help them become truly independent. You got that, Ashley Smith? You got it? All right. So assignments. I learned something from one of my mentors. And some of you are givers. How many would you consider yourself a giver? A giver without any boundaries. You're just a giver by nature. Raise your hands. Sometimes giving is the worst thing you could do for your team. And it's hard because we want to give. I want to give. But sometimes if all you do is give, your team doesn't need to become much. Mm-hmm. They don't have a chance to become independent. They just stay dependent. Mm-hmm. One of my early mentors, something for your notes, he said to me, Eric, with your team, never give, always trade. Write that down. Never give, always trade. What does that mean? If Tanya Walker comes to me and says, hey, Eric, would you come do a Zoom call for me? And I know that Tanya isn't registered for the company's online convention. I'm going to say, Tanya, I will do that Zoom call for you if you register for the company's convention and you send me a receipt that you registered. I'll trade. If I know that Courtney Jackson is not using the product, he has the product, but he's not using it. And he says, hey, would you do a 3-way phone call with one of my key prospects? I would say, yeah, I'd be happy to. If you promise me that you will religiously use our products for the next 2 weeks without fail. If you promise me to do that, then I'll do a 3-way call. What am I doing every time I'm doing this trade? I'm showing them how to become independent, where they don't need me as much anymore. I'm trading action for action. I'm finding out something that they need to do. They come to me with an ask, and I say, yes, I will give you that ask if you'll do this. If you'll register for GoPro, then yeah, okay, I'll do that. If you'll use the product, yeah. If you'll get the biggest package, yes. If you will load up and get a bunch of samples of the brand new product flavor that the company just came out with, because we're going to have a sampling program that starts in January. If you'll do that, then yes, of course, I'm here to help. I'll do a training for your team, no problem. Trade, 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 trade. Listen to me. Every time somebody on your team asks you to do anything, find something to trade. Every time they ask you to do anything, find something to trade that is in their interest, that will help their business, expand their vision, become the leader that they're meant to be. If you just give, you're not being nice, you're being mean. If you trade, you're being a real mentor now. You're being a real coach. So here's the trigger. Next time somebody on your team asks you to do anything, little or small, they could say, hey, what time is the Zoom on Tuesday? What time's the team Zoom on Tuesday? You could answer that question, or you could trade. I'll give you the time if between now and then you'll find at least one customer of our product. You with me? Will you find one customer? If they say, okay, sure. Will you show me how? Yeah, no problem. All right, 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Now let's go get that customer. Doesn't matter what the question is. Trade, 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 trade. Assignments. This is my favorite thing. It's my favorite tool. I love it. I love it because it's effective. I love it because it works. So, campaigns. Let me go into campaigns, and then I'm going to give you an exercise. We're going to break into groups again. The C, campaigns. After assignments, next thing for duplication is campaigns. A campaign is usually shorter term, more exciting, causes action, Distributors are like kids. You know, kids get bored. How many of you have kids? Raise your hands, please. You have kids, right? You ever have a kid, one of your kids that is, they're not hungry and they're not messy, they're just cranky. And you got them a toy a while ago, and this is the toy. And they loved this toy when they first got it. And they're all cranky. You say, hey, what, remember Mr. Sharpie? And they go, psh, I hate Mr. Sharpie. Mr. Sharpie sucks. I'm bored with Mr. Sharpie. What do you need to do then? You go, oh, how about Mr. Paper? Have you seen Mr. And they go, oh, Mr. Paper, that's new. We get something new. Oh, look. Look at this thing. And they're like, oh, okay. That's what a campaign is. This is your set daily method of operation. They're bored to tears. Yeah, use the product, share the product, talk to people, blah, blah, blah. I'm bored, right? But if you say, let's say you have a sampleable product, okay? If you have a product you could sample, we're going to do a 72-hour sample program where all of us are going to sample 10 of our sampleable products with 10 customers. And it's the 10 in 3 program, and it's going to be very exciting. And we're going to use that to go get 7 out of those 10 as customers and 3 out of those 7 as distributors over the course of the next 7 days. Are you in or you out? They're like, this sounds fun. Yes, I'll do that. It's got a beginning, middle, and an ending. Maybe there's a little competition. Maybe there's some recognition. This sounds fun. I'll do that. Like we did our recruiting challenge. How many of you were part of the 7-day recruiting challenge that we did? A bunch of you. Part of the 7-day recruiting challenge. Now, during that 7-day recruiting challenge, we're doing the things that you should have been doing every day, but there's more productivity that happened because we did it in 7 days, and we wrapped it in fancy paper. All of a sudden, people did more recruiting and prospecting activity in those 7 days than they'd done all year. Why? Because we just wrapped it a little different. We created a little campaign. So you can do campaigns about rank advancement. Who wants to get to the first rank? And create a campaign around rank advancement inside your team. You can create campaigns around product use. Let's say you have a new product being rolled out. Any of you have a new product coming out at some point in the next 90 days? Any of you? If you got a new product coming out, Tom Henderson says he's got a new product coming out, create a campaign when that new product hits. A major campaign that everybody in your organization gets that product, shares that product, accelerates that product, talks about that product, educates that product. Create a campaign around it, and you'll get more productivity and more duplication. Campaigns build in the right activities, and they'll tend to stay in more action. So, campaigns around sampleable products, campaigns around holidays. You've already been doing some campaigns, many of you, campaigns around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, campaigns around 12 days of Christmas, campaigns around New Year, New You, campaigns around Valentine's Day or Easter or Independence Day, or kids are out of school or kids are back to school. You pick it. You're only limited by your imagination. If you come up with campaigns, it could be around rank advancement, could be about income, could be about, you could do a campaign about, let's see how many people we can help make $1,000 this month. And that's your whole campaign. How many people can we help make at least $1,000 this month? And we're going to create a leaderboard of everybody on the team that earned at least $1,000 this month. Would you get more activity? The answer is of course. Of course you would. So it could be around income, rank, activity, customers, product, comp plan. It could be around a campaign around charity. You could tie charity into your organization to cause people to be more emotionally connected. You see where I'm going with this? Now, when I normally do like leadership workshops, we list about between 50 and 100 campaigns, and we show you case studies of these campaigns. But because we have the time, we don't have the time today. Do you understand the concept? The concept is come up with something shorter term. The best campaigns are maximum a month. They're better at 2 weeks. They're even better at 10 days. They're even better at 7 days. Some of them are really, really perfect for 3 days. So come up with a campaign that will create action when there wouldn't have been action. That's what leaders do. So assignments and campaigns. Okay? And if you work with us more over the course of this next year, we'll give you all the case studies on all these different campaigns. There's just so many of them. Some of that are in the mastermind group and stuff that we talk about these all the time. But assignments and campaigns create more activity and give you the chance for more duplication. Our goal in duplication, first of all, we do these 4 things. We sell, we build, we duplicate, and we lead. The goal is duplication. Go from dependence to independence using third-party, tell, show, try, do, and ACTS. We've talked about assignments and campaigns. We're going to talk about tools and systems after the break. But assignments, that's how you're looking for willing, coachable, and hungry. You'll find their level. You start moving them up. Tell, show, try, do. And with campaigns, it's short term, creates more exciting action. That all make sense? Okay. Now, I want you to answer a few questions. Can you throw up the questions for me for this exercise? Question number 1. This is very, very important. Claim your Independence Day. What is the date that you are going to be truly and completely independent from anyone else causing you to be successful or unsuccessful? When are you going to be self-sufficient? When are you going to be not needing anything? Some of you are already there. I'm looking at a lot of the top earners. But some of you are not. Some of you still feel the need to have support, encouragement, whatever. Write your date down. If your date's already there, put your date, it's already there, I'm already done. But if you're not truly independent, and be honest with this, you might need to go through your own tell, show, try, do for the next 90 days to get yourself competent at these different skills. And that's okay. You can't just say, I'm going to be independent right now when you're not competent yet. You got to learn how to become competent in this business. So your date is what? Pick the date. Put it in there. And then second, how would you rank yourself in the first 2 areas of radical duplication using a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being world class, 10 no room for improvement. On assignments, how good are you at using assignments and trading instead of giving? How good are you at using assignments in order to be able to create more opportunity for duplication within your organization? How good are you at doing that? And then on campaigns, how skilled are you, 10 being world class, how good are you at campaigns, using campaigns to be able to create more of an environment of duplication within your organization? Scale of 1 to 10. How much room do you have for improvement in that area? Assignments and campaigns. Okay? So we got a date, and we got a number for assignments and a number for campaigns. Everybody got it? All right, we're going to break you into groups one more time. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to share your independence date and your plan to become independent, if you're not already there, with the other people in the group. I want you to share where you're at on a scale of 1 to 10 with assignments and what your game plan is to improve that. And I want you to share where you're at with campaigns and your game plan to improve that. Okay? You understand the assignment? All right, breaking into groups right now. You got 15 minutes. Share with everybody. Play like a pro. Play like a pro. 15 minutes. Go share.
I never saw it coming. I couldn't read the signs. I don't know why I let you in this time. I must be blind. I guess I couldn't trust you, 'cause all you did was lie. Oh no, I have to keep you off my mind 'cause of you. I'm wired up. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. Oh, you. I've had enough. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. I don't want you. Oh no, I have to keep you off my mind 'cause of you. I'm wired up. I don't want you. It's time for you to go. Oh, you. I've had enough. I don't want you. It's time for you to go.